I want to count those 3 pieces of pizza for Troy Mann. I want to mark that down. So when you see him at Body Exchange tomorrow, 3 pieces of pizza. Bright and early. We always go 6:30 in the morning.
Is that the royal we?
Yeah, no, me and him. Yeah, 6:30 in the morning, every morning.
Okay.
On the treadmill. Yeah, me and Trey. Ryan Holt, Kevin Bartle here at Condors Unleashed. Having a great show, as always. We enjoy it.
I think so. Even though you're minus
you're doing
2.
well. I got to step it back up. But Condors with 3 games this weekend. Friday at home, Sunday at home. Saturday, we're up the 99 in Stockton. Big 3-3 and 3 Pacific Division opponents as well, too. So always good to get points inside the division. Joining us, man to my right, Condors defenseman Erik Burgdoerfer. And Bergie, it's great to see you. I mean, back down for the American Hockey League.
Welcome back.
Yeah, wow. Big deal, huh?
I mean, we've mentioned. Well, I mean, we mentioned it all last week, and in the time that you were up in OKC, you know, and it's a compliment to you. I don't think there's ever been more of a deserving guy to get that shot in the American Hockey League, and I mean that honestly. And I mean, just take me through that experience, getting the call up, and yeah, you're only up there a couple of days, couple of games, but just getting that taste and getting that experience to know that your play's being recognized and that you're being able to get that call up.
Well, first off, thank you for the compliment. I appreciate that. And, yeah, I mean, that was kind of my goal. It's been my goal, I guess, for the past couple of years, but certainly coming into this year was I had to get a taste of it and see whether or not I could perform at that level. And up there for 2 weeks, only got into 3 games, but it was a good experience. And, you know, I'm happy that I did it, and I know that I can play at that level and be a positive contributor.
Oh, we know you could play at that level. I mean, how did you think you fit in?
You know, I think I had some opportunity, and I thought I did pretty well with it. The coaching staff and management there seemed pretty pleased, so we'll see what happens down the line.
You got a point. Nice work.
That's it, yeah.
It was on the patented Bergie, the fake, the slap down, and then the shot. That's right. You know?
Yeah.
So it was the patented. He was pulling it out last night.
Yeah.
But you don't get many 7-2 wins during the course of a season. The boys must have enjoyed it. The guys must have enjoyed going out, getting 7 goals last night, and just one of those nights where it seemed like everything fine in the back of the net.
Yeah, I mean, certainly scoring 7 goals is always fun, and it's a great locker room after the game. No worries, and wasn't a nail-biter, so kept Troy's blood pressure down a little bit, even though he was still getting a little riled up when it was 6-2, but
hey,
it's good to see the intensity.
They scored 7 goals. You got no points on the evening, plus 4.
Yeah, so
that's nice.
You know, good defensive game.
Yeah. He'll be the first to tell you, defensive defenseman. Need
good,
those plus minus.
Good puck mover, you know.
That's right. That's right.
Good in his own zone, but
my scoring chances against were probably 0.
There you go.
So
that's what it's all about, man.
Nothing on that end. No. I mean, that might as well be a plus for the offense.
Yeah, plus 4 does wonders for the stats.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
especially
a huge
the beginning
bump.
of the year, we were kind of sliding down.
Everyone was minuses early in the year.
We're climbing back up now.
There you go. There you go.
Condors defenseman Erik Burgdoerfer is our guest. The big win against Stockton last night, and the D starting to come around. Obviously, the scary situation with Page last weekend in Ontario, but now back with the addition of Bowman, 6 defensemen back there. And, you know, we were talking about it a couple of weeks before you got called up about how, you know, there was just 6 defensemen back there. And now it's kind of undergone a change, and now everything's coming back together. How tight are the 6 guys back there and your D core in this team in general?
I think we got a pretty close group, and as far as the D goes, it's great playing with the same guys. You know, even though we have pairs, like last night we played 5, and when you're always having the same guys back there, you get used to playing with everyone, and you know their tendencies. So it really helps on the ice, I think.
You know, I mean, you've been in a lot of locker rooms in your day. One thing we've heard over and over from the guys that come in here, they talk about how tight the locker room is, and I always got a sense that it was a pretty tight group, and you guys all got along. And but early in the season, when the wins weren't coming, it was still a tight locker room. And I feel like you don't really see that too much. There wasn't a whole lot of fracturing of the locker room. Everyone's still kind of stuck together, even though you were struggling to get the victories.
Yeah, I mean, we had that core group that's kind of stayed from the beginning of the year that was tight, and we just had a lot of change in the beginning of the year, a lot of guys coming in and out, so it's tough to really get the group as a whole together, but it was never a negative room. We always believed that it was going to turn around, and it has. And, you know, it was a little bit of a battle, but here we are.
Well, I think that's a tribute to the leadership, though, in the locker room to try to keep it together. I mean, it's very easy at 1-10 to just start sewering everybody and forget it, and everyone's looking out for themselves. But I give you guys a lot of credit.
Oh, thank you. I mean, we got a great core group of guys, like I said, and we just kind of believed all the way through, and we've added pieces along the way, kind of on the fly, and it's worked out well.
You're just 25 years old, but you've been here for a number of years now, a couple of years in Bakersfield, alternate captain on this team. So just 25, but one of the leaders, one of the veterans on that blue line, and you played with a guy like George Hughes pretty much this entire season. You know, you look at your role as a vet on that blue line. Do you enjoy kind of taking on that role? It's kind of a new experience for you the past couple years here in Bakersfield, and being that leader and being that guy that has that experience and can teach some younger guys.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I got to skip the whole being the young guy, except for my first year. I was really the only rookie that was in the lineup a lot, besides me and Brian Stewart, the goalie.
Right.
And then my second year, I was one of the assistant captains and probably one of the older, more experienced players on the team. And it's kind of gone that way for the rest of the way, and that's kind of unusual. Second year, you're leading the group, but
it's a young man's game, Bergie.
Yeah, it's I'm feeling pretty old at 25, but I like seeing the guys develop, and playing with Hughes, he's been great, and seeing his game come along, it's been awesome. He's been great, good guy to play with, and I know where he's playing. Like I said, playing with that group, it's great to know the tendencies, and you just kind of know where your partner is. You've
been through 3 coaches here in Bakersfield. You had Marty Raymond, you had Matt Odette, you had Troy Mann. Take me through this year, because there was such change down in that locker room with the coaching staff changes. John Oliver comes in. The Oilers come in as an affiliation. Take me through some of the systems changes down in that locker room and being able to break down video more this year and really get an assessment of where you are after every game.
Yeah, I mean, it's not so much – it was just a complete change of philosophy and just how everything was done, really. And it kind of brought me back more to my college days where, you have a lot of time off. Just because of the huge staff we have here, it was like in college you have the whole week off, you break down film. But because they have such a large group, even though we play a lot more games here, they're still able to do that. And it really holds everyone accountable and makes sure everyone knows what we're doing when we get out there, and that absolutely helps. Like, no one's out there and they're like, oh, I got the puck, we're on a breakout. We show so much video, everyone knows where they're supposed to be, everyone's on the same page, and I think it's really starting to show now. Like, when we play our system, we're dominating. So I think that's been a huge, huge difference.
Obviously, you mentioned video, and it's been a huge part of the game for a number of years now. But how helpful is it as a player to see, to go back and look at your performance from the previous game or whatever? And is there ever an occasion where you think, I was pretty good tonight, and then you watch the video and you're like, yeah, maybe not so much. Maybe I could have done things differently.
Sure. I mean, there's always some plays that could have gone better, and like, I'm sure when you guys watch from the top, you're like, what is he doing?
It's a different view.
We never say it. We never say it.
Absolutely. When you watch on film, like, in the game, you're like, oh, I didn't have anyone open there. And then you look on the film and you're like, wow, that guy was wide open. So next time when you're in that situation, you remember, I don't see anyone. I got the blinders on here in the corner, but that guy's open over there like he was last time. So absolutely going back and looking at plays, because there's always a couple plays that stick out that you could have something was just not right there. And when they show them on film, it's like, something was not right.
Right.
Well, Bergie, we appreciate the time. Thanks so much for coming on. Good luck this weekend. Welcome back to Bakersfield. We wanted you to get back to Oklahoma City, but, while you're here,
glad to have you here.
Love to have
I'm happy to be here, and go Yanks.
Oh, all right. No Robinson Cano. I mean, you got to throw that in at the end.
Go Yanks.
Throw that in at the end.
Go Yanks.
Jose Rivera will join us from the Condors front office, Vice President of Ticket Sales. He'll join us and make some picks.
Go A-Rod.
And for the record, A-Rod, how's that suspension doing? He's still a Yankee. He's still a Yankee.
Still a Yankee. He's on the books.
We'll talk more about that when we come back. Condors Unleashed live from the Dignity Health Studios on Bakersfield.com. Stay tuned.